I recently watched a video on YouTube by Teal Swan, and she was talking about the concept of being woke. And she was coming from the idea that being woke was somehow separate from spiritual awareness and that it was causing problems because it was stopping discourse. The word woke actually, and the Merriam-Webster says, stay woke became a watchword in parts of the black community for those who were self-aware, questioning the dominant paradigm, and striving for something better. And that's a quote. The idea of woke is simply where people who are disempowered by society have decided to take a really close look at the paradigm. And I'm going to say that most, if not all, the people that I notice that have a problem with being woke are those that are in the empowered society. And the ones that they seem to target are the ones that are the most disenfranchised from society. That would be the people of color, that would be the indigenous populations, that would be the queer community, especially the transgender community. And it was interesting that Teal never really got very specific. The only real specific thing that she actually said in the video was talking about pronouns, which I assume she is directly talking about the transgender community. Now, if you can imagine, this is one of the most disenfranchised parts of the entire community of the American society and the society of the world as a whole. And I am extremely lucky because I am a cisgender male, which means that I identify with the gender that I was assigned at birth. I find that as an extreme pleasure, or extreme privilege. Pleasure too, because I'm very happy to be male. I can't imagine growing up in a body that I feel is wrong. And I know enough people personally to whom that is a lived experience to where I can understand that that can be a real thing, although I have not experienced it and don't identify with it. And that is what being woke is all about. Being woke is all about understanding that the frameworks, the paradigms, and the viewpoints that have occurred up to now have not served everyone. They've only served a certain population. And it's really a time of reckoning right now where we're starting to find out the truth. We're finding out a lot about how our ideas of, for instance, Christmas. Christmas is full of completely pagan customs that have been reappropriated in order to give power to the church. The things such as Christopher Columbus and discovering America. America was already discovered. America was teeming with a culture of people who were very happily living upon this land. And we stripped it away from them, and we imprisoned them, and we killed them, and we tortured them. We absolutely did. And then we put them onto land that is that is not arable. And surprise, surprise, if you take a look, those people even today are still being affected by this. Women of indigenous nature are one of the highest concentration of people that are actually incarcerated today. The same with men of color are the largest population of men that are in prison as well. And you can see this is just a systemic thing where it's not just that, that was in the past and that was something that my forefathers did and it doesn't affect me. It is still affecting people. And until we look at the truth of it, we can't heal from it. What the woke society, with the woke culture, the true woke culture is trying to do is simply make history truth rather than make history a idealized story that matches some ideal that we want to be. We have this thing in America where we want to be the superheroes and we want to be the one in the right. It's all through our scriptures as well, where you can see that every single nation that wrote something, they wanted to be the one that was on God's side. And sometimes things are just messy, and you do things because you do them, but you need to own up to that you just did it because you did it. I mean, it doesn't mean that you are in the right and somebody else is therefore in the wrong, and that God is on your side and therefore not on someone else's side. God created everybody. God created absolutely everything. Straight people, gay people, queer people, people of color, people that, are white, though we're not really white. He created absolutely everything and everyone, and he loves everyone equally. He wants everyone to be able to step into joy. And the thing that I'm concerned about with this wave against the woke culture, is that it's once more trying to cap down the voices of those who've never had a voice. And that's what's happening right now. So those that are against the woke society, the woke culture, are just having a problem because it's really uncomfortable. Well, sometimes the truth is uncomfortable. In my state, in Alabama, a lot of people of color were lynched and killed for no other reason than that they were of color. That is the truth. Queer people, especially young people, are the highest concentration of people that are addicted to drugs and alcoholics and used for sexual predation and are homeless. That's the largest selection. And people of transgender are the highest concentration of those that are murdered. That is just the truth. And the same is true for people of color. I understand the concept of when they say driving while black. I can't imagine the fear of being pulled over and not knowing if that person who is supposed to protect and serve is actually going to kill me simply because I'm the wrong color. And that is the truth. And it's not comfortable. And it's not fun. And it's not pretty. But until we look at it, talk about it, let people express their pain, and begin to heal, we're never going to get over it. So that's what the woke culture is about. That's what the woke society is about. The woke culture and the woke society is about people having a voice who never had a voice before. It has not been that long. It has not been that long since people of color were taken out of slavery. It has not been that long since women were able to have a credit card in their own name. Ridiculous. It has not been that long that people of the same sex were able to marry someone that they wanted to be married to. These are basic human rights, and yet they're still very, very new. And they're also being fought right now as well. All of those things, even though they are rights today, those rights are in question. And that's what the woke culture is all about. And it ain't comfortable, and it ain't pretty, and it ain't fun, and it ain't easy. But if we're ever going to heal as a nation and come together and look at the truth, that's what we have to go through. Sometimes spiritual awareness goes through that. Spiritual awareness, part of that is the dark night of the soul. And the dark night of the soul is where you go through this real time of struggle, where you have to look at the truth. You have to understand your brokenness so that you can begin to heal. Because until you put light on the dark spaces, you'll never be able to see them and understand them for who they are and the gift and the opportunity that is there. So that's my response to this outcrying right now that the woke culture and the woke society and the woke police and the blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you know why? It's because your language does not include everyone. It's because your policies do not include everyone. All people in the woke culture are asking for are equal rights, equal standing, equal ability to do what they want to be able to take their kids to a drag story hour. If you don't want to take your kids to a drag story hour, don't take them. It's not the law. You don't have to take them. But you know what? Parents that do should have the right to do it. That's the way America works. You get to do what you want to do, and others get to do what they want to do, as long as they're not harming you. And somebody living their life and being vulnerable and authentic does not hurt you. In fact, someone expressing their rights to their ability to be happy and joyful actually helps you because it makes society stronger. The moment you quiet somebody and put them in the corner and let them just die, that actually helps society, because society is only as strong as its weakest link. And when we make those links that we don't like weak, we hurt everything. So if you truly want to go through spiritual awareness, if you truly want joy in this world, if you truly want happiness and abundance and health for yourself, for those you love, and perhaps for everyone else, then it is time to be woke. If somebody wants to be called they and them, it's just words. It's just words to you, but you know what? It's everything to them. It's absolutely everything. Oh, and for any of you Christians out there, let's talk about one of the biggest name changes there is. How about Saul now saying he's Paul? There's somebody that changed his name. We don't have a problem with that. And that's okay that he wanted to be called Paul. And I will absolutely honor that, because that's what he wanted to be called. But you know what? Other people have that same choice. So that's my take on it. I really do want this to come through as a sense of love, peace, and joy, because that's where it comes from. But love, peace, and joy can also look like the mama bear that'll protect her young. And that's not pretty either. But that is love, and that is truth, and that is spiritual awakening. Love, peace, and release. Hey, while I've got you, have you ever wondered more about the angels, who they are, how they can help you in your life, and what you can do, and what your full potentiality is? How do you live in joy? How do you have peace? How do you have health and abundance and good relationships? And just how can you traverse the angelic realm and finally let go of the pain and suffering that you are going through right now in whatever is in your life? You ever wondered? I would love for you to join my free private Facebook group, Divine Angelic Manifestors. You'll see the link at the end of this video, or down below rather, but go to facebook.com/groups/Divine Angelic Manifestors. It's free, it's private. I would love to see you there. Love, peace, release.